Hello everyone, I'm Joey Maxon from Clemson, South Carolina. I'm going to talk about some of the ethical violations and board disciplines that have taken place in the state of South Carolina. So I looked up my state board website. It was kind of difficult to find the different cases. You had to actually click on each one individually, fill out a form, and then download the thing. So I did it for about 10 of them or so. And some of the common themes I found were failure to maintain confidentiality, failure to provide referral resources, sexually inappropriate comments, and license lapsed. Those are some of the more common ones. I also read an article, a 2017 article by Hia and Bacone, that was really good. They did a study over a 5-year period around 2010 where they looked at different code violations, different ethical violations, and board disciplines from 28 different states at the time. And South Carolina was actually one of those. And they found the most common ones in their study were dual relationship, unprofessional conduct, which covers a lot of what I already had mentioned. Insurance fraud was one of them, professional misrepresentation, and misuse or inappropriate diagnosis was also one of the ones in there as well. I really wasn't surprised by the list. It seemed to be kind of the common stuff I thought it would be, so there was really no surprises there. Some of the themes that I noticed for them being willing to discipline somebody was anything that reflected poorly on the profession or endangered clients seemed to be the ones that really jumped out when they were going to step in. One of the cases that was interesting to me was actually a case where there was a counselor that was seeing a client, and the professional relationship ended, and then the client actually moved in with the counselor over a period of about 10 months, and that violated the ACA code A6E, non-professional interactions, and the state code that they actually listed for the reason for discipline was 3619B13, which requires that counselors be accountable at all times for their behavior. So the counselor in this situation received a public reprimand, a $500 fine, and 3 hours of continuing education is the penalty for that. The ACA Code of Ethics and the state code, the ACA code says about impairment, monitor yourself for impairment and refrain from treating others and offering services while you're impaired. It also goes on to talk about making sure that you're assisting colleagues in identifying their own impairments, and then once again you have an obligation to point out impairment to your state board as well of anybody you see that might be impaired. One of the questions that's brought to mind for me, especially with my state board, it said that it seemed like the most important thing on there was that you identify other counselors that you believe to be impaired, which to me seemed a little bit like a kind of like a tattletale type relationship. And the question it brought up for me, is it more important to really point out counselors that you think are impaired, or is it more important to spend your time coming alongside them as a peer in a relationship to help prevent impairment? And I'm just not sure how that whole relationship works, so I'm curious to see and learn more about that, how that works. So thanks for watching, and have a great day.